A very warm welcome to this insightful conversation. I have with me Shanai Ghosh from Edelweiss General Insurance. Shanai is going to talk about how the insurance industry has shaped up over the last couple of months and the way forward in terms of trends and the kind of premiums that the industry is going to see over the next few months. Thank you, Shanai, for joining us today.
Hi Priya, good to be on this segment. The last year was very good for us actually. We grew at 49% in terms of direct premium, and which was the second highest growth in the industry. And what was heartening for us that this growth came in the segments of motor, which has been challenged in the last year. Motor declined, if you would be tracking the numbers, motor declined for the industry marginally, but for us, it grew in excess of 40%. Health also grew for us, but it grew for the industry. It's just that the growth rate for us was much higher than the industry. And for our segment of insurers who joined around the industry around our time and technology driven insurers, I think health was not a focus segment for them. For us, it's always been right from year one in 2018 when we launched our operations. So it's always been an area of focus, and it continued to be so. So for us, last year was really good in terms of growth.
In terms of the kind of trends that are emerging at this point in time, which segments do you see this kind of growth coming in? And over the next couple of months, what is your sense in terms of which parts of the overall insurance pie will see a good pickup?
I think it's evident to everyone that health is generally seeing a huge demand and a pull. So as a result, COVID in that sense has been a tailwind for health. But when we want to translate that demand or pull into, actual premium, I think as an industry, we have to translate our products into something far simpler than they are today. Because even with this huge demand or pull that we've seen, over 99% of sales require some form of assistance. The only health product that actually did not require any form of assistance were the two products that the entire industry had to launch as mandated by the regulator, which is Corona Kavach and Corona Rakshak. And they were extremely simple in their construct. Their product, the document, etc., was pretty much one page. You knew what you were going to be paid for. You knew what you wouldn't be paid for. There was one wait period of 15 days, and that was it. I think to translate the product into, the demand into any kind of premium, we have to come up with really, really simple products on the health side.
Is that going to be the focus in terms of bringing more innovative, simpler products to the market? What's going to be the strategy out there?
I think for us, definitely it's an area of huge focus on what could be this really simple product that can help people understand in a very simple sense, saying that this is what I pay, this is what I get, this is what I don't get, literally. One person that I was talking to, and he was a pretty senior person in the corporate world, but he said that, I find it very difficult to understand health insurance policies. What is paid? What is the sublimit? Just tell me. I want to know that I've paid for it. Everything I want to be covered should be covered. If it's not, tell me in 5 lines and not more. So, that's the kind of simplicity that we have to aspire for, and we are aspiring for. It's easier to create that simplicity when the scope of the product is narrower. So COVID product, for instance, it's easier to create because there's just one. When it's a comprehensive health insurance policy, it's tougher to do that. But we are going to use all our inspiration and all our thinking to try and create that kind of simplicity. And we'll also come up with, products that address a specific need and that are simple enough so that the customer has the option of getting some health insurance coverage very easily, at least.
Can I talk to us about the whole SME space? So we understand that there are a lot of group health covers that you all have been looking into and basically tapping the whole SME segment. So what's been your experience so far? And is this going to be an important pillar in your growth strategy going forward?
So, health insurance, Priya, is... there aren't so many people who buy retail health insurance yet, unfortunately, in India. But there are many lives covered under group health insurance. However, group health insurance has largely been focused at by the larger companies, with many employees. But right from the beginning, we have started focusing on a smaller segment. So most of our clients come from the segment of companies which have less than 500 employees, because we believe this segment really could do with support from an insurance service provider, not just in terms of the premium, not just in terms of the claims, etc., that we get, but also in terms of adjacent services. Going forward, we expect this segment to really grow. And again, post pandemic, all the employers, whether you're big or small, have realized the importance of health insurance, and they are looking at more and more opportunities to provide this cover to their employees. The government is also encouraged and in some cases mandating employers to provide this kind of cover. For larger insurers, what happens is eventually in the Western world, in more developed economies, they become self-insured because they have such a large base of employees that it makes sense for them to create this entire capability within. But smaller, companies will never have that kind of bandwidth available. So you need someone to take this off completely from them, and there we feel that the role fits perfectly. Also, the smaller companies somehow are not able to get the best offer a solution for themselves because they don't have that bargaining power. Again, that's somewhere we want to be able to offer them a solution that is customized to them. So that's a space that we are looking at, and we expect that the space will grow. And we have, in fact, we have insured several startups and their employees also in this space. So that's really an area of focus for us. It has been, and it's become even more so because the companies are also themselves sitting up and taking notice and wanting to get their employees the health insurance coverage they need.
You spoke about even startups and other internet economy companies going ahead for such plans. So, what kind of share are these companies of your overall pie?
In terms of premium, there might not be much because the premiums for the smaller companies tend to be smaller. But in terms of the number of clients, the smaller SME, companies form more than 85% of our client base for sure. In fact, probably more than 90% of our client base, because we track it as such. We want to know how much of our premium, how many of our clients are coming from this segment of 0 to 500. And one interesting development, Priya, is that people are not just talking about buying health insurance or getting health insurance for their employees. It's also about getting health insurance for their associates or getting health insurance for franchisees. In fact, one of the first policies that we did was for Ola, for their drivers, where we gave COVID cover to their drivers, and we created a really simple policy. And we also have something for Dunzo for their delivery boys. So this is an interesting trend that has happened after the pandemic and in and around the pandemic, where people have realized that they need to give some basic health coverage, not just to employees, but also to their extended employees. So that's been an interesting development.
Just a final question before I let you go, in terms of the way forward and how Edelweiss is looking at cashing in on this kind of segment that everybody's been looking into, which is health insurance. So I want to understand on an overall perspective, what kind of growth are you expecting in terms of premiums? If there are any sort of metrics that you can give us in terms of increase in customer count or any such targets that you may have for for FY22.
In terms of health insurance, last year we grew at triple digit in terms of retail health insurance. We expect the growth to continue to be robust this year as well. Our growth rate last year on an overall basis was 49%, and we expect to remain in the same ballpark and continue to grow at several times the industry average. In terms of number of customers, our customer number doubled last year, more than doubled last year, to about 1.6 million customers, active customers, and a large number of them came from the group health segment. And we expect to continue this kind of robust growth in the coming year as well. Our focus is definitely on, creating products, a simple health insurance product, which translates the pull into actual demand and premium. And on the group side, we are looking at continuing to serve the small and medium economy, the startup economy, with customized policies for their, employees as well as extended associates, and offer adjacent services that can create a much more holistic, comprehensive health insurance and health claim experience for them. On the motor side, we are looking at, creating a far more engaged product for the customer. We launched Switch, which was India's first on-demand app-based motor insurance policy. It still continues to be that. We've filed for Switch 2.0 with the regulator, and we're expecting approval. And we expect to create an app-based insurance product that can help us create a far more personalized product solution and pricing for our customers, not to mention the experience. So that's really our focus.
One thing that all our audience who's listening to this interview wants to know is which way our premium is going to go. Our premium is going to increase. What's the kind of trajectory that they should think about?
So, I'd like to tell the audience that it's not very easy to increase health insurance premiums in the country. You have to file. Whatever be your increase, you have to file with the regulator. It goes through a fairly extended period of due diligence and increase, because regulators' primary focus is on protecting policyholders' interest. So it's not like, it's not even like I can say that, COVID has been a, kind of loss leader, or COVID has been a big has increased pressure on our bottom line. It's not like we can change our prices overnight or next month or even the month after. We have to do a proper analysis. We have to send the file reports. So it is a matter of months, and it's not very easy to change pricing in insurance. So it is not changing anytime soon for our products. At least I can tell you that we don't have any repricing for our mainline health insurance products. The COVID specific products, obviously, we have requested the regulator, not just now, we have requested them a few months earlier to look at the pricing, because the pricing was done in June last year. And we were nowhere close to the peak of wave one, forget the peak of wave two. So the pricing is very inadequate to support that product. But apart from that, we don't have any immediate plans to pursue any repricing.
Right. So no immediate plans for premiums to go up. So that's some good news and some relief for the audience and the customers out there. And on that note, thank you very much, Shanai, for joining us on this interesting chat. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for joining us on your story.
Thank you, Priya. Pleasure was mine. Thank you.
Thank you.